welcome back to Shadow Dragon. Before we begin the next chapter, we're giving a promotion to the best girl to make her even more the best. This chapter is set up as a long hallway up to the throne we need to seize, with several locked rooms on each side and one closed-off area near the top. There are only a few enemies visible at first, including the boss, Tiki. She's a Maneki, and as you might be able to guess, she's not fighting us of her own free will. Make sure you bring Bantu to this map, because that's the only way you'll be able to recruit her. Also bring a thief or two to get into all the doors and chests that are on this map. Of the 6 initial closed rooms, half of them have treasure and half of them have a bow-wielding enemy inside, so despite the lack of visible enemies, it's possible to get overwhelmed if you aren't careful when popping open doors, or if you let the enemy thieves get too far and start opening things before you get to them. If your thieves need some help with all the chests, remember that the Fire Emblem allows Marth to open chests without a key. Doesn't work on doors, though. Quite a few of the enemies from the top start rushing you immediately, and the hero with the killing edge can be pretty nasty if you leave a vulnerable unit in his range, so make sure you've got tough characters to choke the hallway while the rest of the squad is on looting duty. The pattern for the first 6 locked rooms goes like this. In the first row, the right room has treasure. In the second row, the treasure is on the left. In the third row, the treasure is on the right. All the other rooms have enemies, a hunter in the first 2 rows and a sniper for the third row. The long locked room at the top of the map contains both treasure and a pair of enemy mages, but the thieves will probably open that one for you anyway. This chapter is actually pretty good for training up Est or any other weaker units, just because the tight quarters and the relatively low number of enemies makes it easier to control who fights who and to weaken up strong enemies for your recruits to finish off. Of course, the optimal goal of this map isn't just to seize the throne. We also need the Light Sphere and the Star Sphere to be able to defeat a major villain near the end of the game. The Light Sphere is in the hands of one of the thieves at the start of the chapter, just kill him to grab it. If a character holds the Light Sphere in their inventory, any enemy they fight loses the defense and evasion boosting effects of terrain. Those bonuses are pretty minor to begin with, but on higher difficulties it might help. Est's growths are kicking in really well already. Once you've cleared out all the heroes, there isn't much left on the map that poses a threat to you. The thief that grabs the Star Sphere from the chest is never going to get past your army to escape, so just take your time cleaning out the treasure and make your way north with Bantu and Marth. The Star Sphere is an amazing item. Carrying it on a character prevents their weapons from losing durability. Really good if you have someone with a powerful weapon that you don't want to worry about wasting. As you can see, Tiki is a lot stronger than her stats would suggest because she gets a lot of bonuses from her weapon, but we're not going to be fighting her at all because we brought Bantu along. So this is Tiki, the second and, mostly, final recruitable mana key. Like Bantu, her stats on the surface are nothing too special, but she gets some insane stat boosts from her weapon, the Divine Stone, which only she can use. On top of that, the Divine Stone also deals effective damage against other Manaketes, making her really valuable for the late game when we run into a lot of dragons, and this ability makes her one of the best options for fighting the final boss. The Divine Stone breaks after 30 uses and is the only one of its kind, making her a great candidate for the Star Sphere for the few chapters that we have access to it. Unlike Bantu, Tiki has incredibly high growth rates, some of the best in the game. She's really powerful from the moment you get her, and the more experience you feed to her, she'll only get stronger. The only thing to watch out for is that her HP starts pretty low, but with a 90% growth rate in it, she'll catch up quickly enough. Tiki has a talk conversation with Marth. And actually one with Zane, so I'm going to send her down to him while I finish looting the map. There's a third sphere in one of these chests, a Geosphere. It has 3 charges and can be used to deal 13 damage to everyone on the map, both allies and enemies. It's not important to the story in the way that the other 2 spheres are, but it will come in handy for at least one application in the future. Probably one of the most interesting talks in the game there, as it foreshadows some information about Zane, who otherwise is pretty shrouded in mystery in this game. We can tell that he's connected to the Divine Dragon somehow, and also to Lord Gato, the old guy who's been giving us advice. Once you've looted everything and are satisfied with the map, there's nothing left to do but seize. And maybe we'll find out what's so important for Nina next time. Thanks for watching.